Hello beautiful souls, welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about the benefits and power of Hooponopono, how it can help you with your healing journey, and also how it can assist you through your manifestation and law of attraction. If you're new to my channel, my name is Rosie, this is my cosmic garden, and together we will grow. Typically I talk about psychology, philosophy, spirituality, health, you name it. So if you are interested in content like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Away we go! If you haven't heard it by now, Hooponopono is an ancient Hawaiian prayer used for healing, release, and letting go of any bad energy that might be lingering. This technique is believed to be so powerful that Dr. Hew Len used this when treating patients. And of course, these mental patients that he was treating, he actually never saw them physically in person. Instead, what he would do is he would look at their files, each and every one of them individually, and he would say this ancient prayer. And over time, these people that were severe mental health cases, such as they were harming themselves, they were harming others, so these people were restrained. They were either shackled or they were in those what are this called, you know, those restraint thingies where it's like, I can't move or whatever, not to make fun. But yeah, I mean, these were real severe cases. So it got to the point where little by little they were taking off of their medications, they were taken off of their restraints, and eventually they were discharged. I mean, how powerful is that? He used 4 simple phrases. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Now, these words were so powerful that he was able to cure these patients of their diseases, whether if they knew it or not. Crazy, right? You must be thinking, Rosie, how can this help me? Why are you even telling me this? How will I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, how does that benefit me? How? If these people were the ones that hurt me, why should I have to apologize to them? Why should I have to forgive them? Well, the reality is, it's not necessarily that you're doing it more for them, you're doing it more so for yourself. A lot of times when we carry a lot of pain, a lot of anguish, a lot of negativity based upon what others have done to us, really, who's the one who's off the loose here? The one who's still hanging on, or the one who just doesn't care and moves on? Oftentimes, when we're dealing with grief, sadness, anger, and healing, it's all about letting go. The reality is, we don't always get the closure that we necessarily need and or want. And it could be for various reasons. 1, maybe they passed away. 2, maybe they're just physically not in contact with you because they moved or things happened, or maybe things just ended on a bad note. Regardless of the reasons, in order to truly heal, we must let go of the roles that we have ruminating over and over again in our heads and our minds of what was done to us. Essentially, it's a role that we are recreating and repeating. Thus, it's getting magnified in our minds. Now, this is not to put down or belittle what you went through. I myself can relate. I've had very traumatic experiences growing up. I had people in my life that were a bit narcissistic, and they would project these actions towards me to the point where there was gaslighting. If you're not familiar with gaslighting, gaslighting is a term used when a person might use things like, it's just in your head, you're crazy, oh, you're just being sensitive, just to undermine what you actually went through because they don't want to take the responsibility of doing it. So again, I get it. But Rosie, said person has really hurt me. And this is why I want to share this with you, because in the end, this is more for you than it is for them. When you hold on to people or things or environments that no longer serve you, you are essentially in a way creating resistance, blockages. And this resistance and blockages can actually get in the way, especially if you're trying to manifest, or if you're familiar with the law of attraction, it's all about the mindset. So with your mindset, just because you're positive 1 minute and then negative the next minute, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to be able to manifest or attract good things in your life. But just keep in mind that we always attract what we are, not always what we want. So with that being said, if in your mind or within your energetic field, all you are really thinking about is how hurt you are, how victimized you are, well, guess what? You're going to attract more situations to put yourself in the same situation, maybe just with a different person, a different job, or a different environment. There's a saying, as above, so below. As within, so without. Therefore, when we're energetically stuck in victimization mode, in a way, we're telling ourselves these things without really having to say it. Man, I've gone through so much. I've had this happen to me, I had that happen to me, and now this is happening to me. Why does this keep happening? I don't understand. Why me? Why? As you can see, this is not necessarily healthy. And did you feel that? Did the energy from what I just said and what I was just reenacting, I'm pretty sure it didn't really feel like, wow, I want to get to know this person. Or if anything, it probably created resistance and it just pushes you away. And it's the same thing with law of attraction. If you're trying to pull good things into your life, you're trying to manifest good things in your life, but energetically you're projecting the opposite, then the same thing is going to happen. You're actually going to create and manifest things that you don't necessarily really want in your life. This is also known as the law of correspondence. To counteract that, what you can say is, wow, I've gone through so much, but you know what? It's made me who I am today. I've gone so far. I still have more far ways to go, but hey, I'm here right now. And I may not be able to change my past, but I can change what can happen to me in the future based on just the now, just being present and connecting with yourself, meeting yourself where you are currently. Don't run away from vulnerability. Vulnerability is what you need in order to move forward. It's not always a setback. So meet yourself where you are. If you're angry, if you're sad, if you're depressed, if you're anxious, meet those feelings and try to figure out why are those feelings there and work through it. Anytime you find yourself going back to the same old patterns, same old habits that you've had of, why me? Just tell yourself, hey, I am removing things in my life that no longer serve me by choice. And I consciously make the decisions to continue to learn how to forgive and how to heal so that I can become my greatest version, so that I can meet my higher self and start attracting better things in my life. Because at the end of the day, things are not happening to me, they're happening for me. And I know it can be a little hard to take that in when you're like, well, how is it happening for me? How? And I'll tell you why. The reason why things are happening for you is because, in a way, it can be a wake-up call, depending on what exactly happened. I'm not saying that in every situation it was your fault, because that wouldn't be fair, especially if you were a kid and you were going through traumatic events, which were, of course, out of your control, or even as an adult, things sometimes happen that are out of your control. But at the end of the day, I just want you guys to walk away with knowing that you may not have control over the external, but you do have control over what goes on in here, in your heart, and also in here, okay? Instead, again, repeat it to yourself, wow, I have come such a long way. Every day I am learning how to let go and release. And then you can begin with the Hooponopono prayer. I'm sorry for, you can fill in the blank. Please forgive me for, fill in the blank. Thank you, such and such person. I love you, such and such person. And just keep repeating this to yourself. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. You can also incorporate EFT, which is Emotional Freedom Technique, also known as tapping, in order to amplify the effects. That way it can bring you back to the present moment, especially if the trauma is so severe to the point where you're feeling a lot of resistance or very emotional while saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And you kind of want to ground yourself and you want to bring yourself back to source and back to the present moment. That way you're not having fleeting thoughts or having animosity or any of those emotions. I'll show you in just a moment. I'll also put up a picture that way, or I'm sorry, I'll also put up a diagram That way you can see different points of the body where you can actually tap. These are the same points that acupuncturists use anytime you go to acupuncture, but I'm just going to show you 3 brief EFT points that I use for myself personally. So for one, it could be on the top of the head. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. So whenever you use EFT, emotional freedom technique, also known as tapping, depending on what area of the body that you're choosing for the tapping, make sure that you do it strong enough to where it brings you to the present moment, but not too hard to where you're hurting yourself, obviously, and also not too soft to where it's not bringing you to the present moment. Just like Dr. Hew Len used this technique, it works if you believe it does. The mind is powerful. Use it to your advantage. And with that being said, oh, it's getting a little windy out here. If this video was of any value to you, please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let me know down in the comments below. Let's chat. Let me know if you want to see any more videos like these. Until then, let's continue to grow together. All right. Mwah. Bye, guys.